fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Ladera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Paradigm shift on Global 99.5 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I really do appreciate you and appreciate your support. So today's show is not going to be an easy one. We're going to be talking about some serious business today, some heavy lifting today. And this is something that I've sort of been avoiding talking about, but I knew that the day would come and I'd have to talk about it. And I'm hoping that we're going to get a lot of you who are listening to tune in, and not just tune in, but also have your voices heard on this matter, because I dare say that if we don't get this problem fixed, we are in grave danger of, I don't think I'd be overdramatic if I say protecting the future of our nation. And I am specifically speaking about the problem of violence against women and children, which is at an unacceptably high level in our country today. It's a heavy topic because no matter, it seems, how much we talk about it, we still get people who, in many ways, don't seem to see it as a problem. I am always alarmed when I hear a woman say something like, well, you know, my father told me that if you fly up in a man's face, and I ain't saying you should fly up in anybody's face, then you must know what you can get. I'm not going to attribute who said those words, and I'm paraphrasing. I think we all know who did. It bothers me when I have a person call into the show and even say it as a joke. No man should kill another woman, but you may have to slap her up. That's not funny. And the fact that we are still at the point where people think that it's okay, even as a joke, tells me that we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. What is it about our society that makes a person think that he or she has the right to abuse another human being? In some cases, take their life. What makes a person think that they own someone else and has no free will, no opinion, They're just existing to be pleasure for you. What makes a person think that society should stay out of people's private affairs, even though it's obvious to many around that your private affairs involves abuse? I shudder to think of all of the people out there, and I'm saying people because even though I said that the show is mainly about abuse against women and children, we know that men are suffering abuse as well, perhaps not as widespread as women and children are, but there are some men who are silently suffering through this as well. How have we come to the place in this society that we don't see this as a problem? Or that if we do see it as a problem, we see it as a problem that we really don't have any control over, or that we can't do anything about. It's a very serious thing. And I say that it's something that could affect the future of the nation, because I say it all the time. If you are abusing a child, whether that is physical abuse, neglect, sexual abuse, or otherwise, the abuse doesn't disappear once that child becomes an adult. Even though we have become experts at sweeping things under the rug, you can't sweep the pain away. It doesn't just disappear. And so if we don't tackle this, we are looking at a nation of adults who are walking wounded, who are walking around suffering through the effects of the pain that was inflicted on them as children. And I don't want you to think that they will be suffering alone, because many times what happens is hurting people hurt people. And so we see instances of where an abused person becomes an abuser. And so if we are looking to advance to the place of a healthy nation, a vibrant nation, a progressive nation, then we must address this horrific elephant in the room. Because the only time it seems that we are in an uproar over this problem is when another person loses their life. When a child is killed by a stray bullet or allegedly beaten to death, or when a woman is shot and killed or stabbed to death by an estranged lover. Oh, then we have everything to say about what's wrong with this and how we need to stop. And, the outcry is great for a day or two. And then we go back to life as normal. So today I want to ask the question, and I'm hoping, is the guest on us yet? She's not on us yet. I'm hoping she doesn't have a problem getting on. But today I want to ask the question, what is it going to take? What is it going to take for us to realize that we have to deal with this? Excuse me. It's not something we can ignore any longer. Let me just get a drink of water. Oh, there it is. It's on the floor. Yeah, I just got to get a drink of water, y'all. Please excuse me for a second. Yeah. So, as we wait for my guest to come on, I'd like to hear from you guys. Because I'm not going to sit here today and pretend that I have all of the answers. this is a problem that is going to require the input of all of us in order to fix it. And so I want this to be a very interactive show today. I want this to be a very frank and open conversation today, because I don't think that we should make the mistake with an issue this heavy of discounting anyone's opinion or discounting anyone's contribution to what it's going to take to solve the problem. I like how I think when Benjamin Smith was on the show a couple of days ago, last week sometime, I think he made mention of the story of Joseph, and he said that when Pharaoh had a problem, the solution was in the jail. He had to go to the man in the jailhouse, in the dungeon, to get the solution to the national problem. And I think a part of our problem as a nation is that we tend to think that the only people who have any kind of valuable contribution are the ones who have been elected to parliament, the ones who have been, appointed to the Senate. They seem to be the only ones that we think have any contribution to make. And oftentimes the solution is not necessarily found there. But the solution may be in the mind of Mr. Joe Blow on the street. So I want this to be a very interactive conversation today. I want as many people as possible to contribute to this conversation today, because she's here. Khandi has joined us. Khandi, I hope you can hear us. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Fabulous, fabulous. Welcome to the show. My guest today is Khandi Gibson from FOAM, Families of All Murder Victims. And she can speak authoritatively on this subject, not only because she heads FOAM, but because she has experienced violence. And Khandi, we want to talk today frank and open and raw about what is it going to take for us to get to the point where we take this seriously enough to start to put a dent in this problem. Let's start by talking about some of the things that you deal with and some of the things that you see through the work that you're doing with FOAM.
Okay, first of all, I want to say pleasant good afternoon to everybody. Please forgive me for my tardiness. My car, I hopped my car today, and the battery gave away on me. And so I was up and down trying to find a battery, but I got the battery, and then one kind gentleman came and he installed the battery in my car for me.
Thank you to the gentleman, but I'm glad you're here.
Yes, thank you. But I want to say, Michelle, I don't want to be bashful to anybody, but I want to say what I see, and that's the issue we have in our country, when people want to just paint a pretty picture of, oh, we outraged. Yeah, that sounds good, eh?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what is outrage? Outrage is when you have to be a critical thinker and make decision, and now decision. You don't have no boss to go with, I gotta run to this person to get the sign off to get that person help. No. You have to now, Khandi, this person's life is in danger. They're afraid of their boyfriend. They're afraid of the attacker. So you have to now move swiftly, get that person from point A and carry them to a safe place to point B.
Mm-hmm.
With no financial assistance. You just a critical thinker. And so I have situations where women they're afraid of the abuser. Do you want police action? No, ma'am, because if I involve the police, that may make it more inferior.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do you do in a situation like that? Then you have ladies wanting to get out their relationship, no place to go. And the turnaround time to get assistance for a place to be is so long that I see why women don't go or they stay in their abusive situation. And I can tell you, I had a situation where I was assisting a domestic violence victim, and her boyfriend came and destroyed a lot of my property just to get at her.
Mm.
And so that had me like, let's start, because I'm like, if this person going as far as destroying your property, what he would do to you?
Right.
And so women in this country are faced with so many blockage and stoppage when they trying to flee their abusers and tackle, and there are so many times they're faced with so many no's. No police cars at the station right now. The person who you reach out to, there's no compassion or empathy to assist you while you're going through. No safe spaces, no shelters. You go here, no this, no that, and it's just so, and no jobs. If I press charges against him, that's my boyfriend, that's my husband, that's who provide the clothes, that's who pay the mortgage, that's who pay the rent, that's who makes sure the children eat. And there's so many stoppage and blockage that hold women hostage. And guess what? You know what we tend not to mention? There's something called financial abuse. And a lot of females in our country are suffering from financial abuse. And that's the
people holding them hostage. People holding them hostage, in other words.
Yes, financial. Whereas the woman, she's paying the mortgage, she's paying the light bill, she goes to the bank, she gets the loan. Everything is in the female name. Her boyfriend takes the car from her all day. She has to put gas in the car. She goes to the bank. She gets this for the husband. That's financial abuse. So when we think it's just mental or physical, there's verbal and there's financial abuse. And we tend to look down on people, Miss Malcolm, but we can't look down on nobody, because all of us at some point suffered some sort of abuse.
Let me ask you something, Khandi. How, in order to fix a problem, I think you have to go to ground zero. You have to start from the foundation and work your way up. And it seems that this problem is so far-reaching and has been going on for so long. It's like we've lost sight of what is ground zero. Where do we begin to fix this problem from your perspective?
From my perspective, first of all, we have to now create in the schools. Young females now have to learn their self-worth. And that's something many of us don't know. We don't know what a self-worth is, because we see at an early young age, some of us are being abused inside the home. The father having sex with the daughter, the uncle incest. We have molestation going. So many females don't know their self-worth, and they grow up with that in them. We have homes, whereas mommy have to work 2 and 3 jobs to take care of them. So therefore now the older sibling now is the mother sibling for the other sibling. So you know, understand me? So bit by bit, it's taking us apart from who we really are. So whatever, good afternoon. So whatever comes in our lap now, we are forced to more or less a man to or a hair to. But I want to say this: once we done establish who we are, and that means like we have to now get focused back in the church. I don't care what nobody say. We can try whatever we want to try, but if we don't have God or Christ in the midst of our battle, we can't ride the storm. And the problem is, we come in with plenty paperwork, but where is God in the midst of this? Where is God in the midst of it? And so we have to now go back to the root, and the root is Jesus Christ. We have to put him in the midst of all of our decisions. That's one. Number 2, there needs to be the laws on the book has to be amended. Where guys, they could do whatever they want. I think I put up a story one time how this gentleman ran on a certain job site and he killed his wife or his girlfriend. Man, he served the time. But when he came out, he's able to get a nice government job and role in the public sector until he passed away. And then we'd be like, okay, well, he did get time for killing this person. He did serve his time. He came back in society. Yeah, he gave back good, but at the end of the day, you still took a female life. Your life after you would have served time in jail still goes on. But that mother you took away from her children is no longer here. And I feel personally like, and then another thing is, Michelle, when we tell like, okay, they get arrested and they just say the woman decided to press charge. In some cases, that's the female dies. The guys get arrested. He goes before the court, and that's where it stops. We feel like once we involve the police and they get charged, that's not anywhere to stop, because him who can make that act, he need counseling. He need help. We don't try we feel once he get to the police station and goes to the court and he get convicted, that's where it starts. That ain't where it's, especially when the children involved. And so then we tend to see that the cycle repeat itself all over again. So I'll tell persons, when you see situations like this, everybody involved, Michelle, needs counseling.
Yeah.
We need counseling. This country is like a I just saw something the day. This whole country is counseling because you in areas where you seeing stuff and children seeing stuff repeatedly every day, every other day, and living through stuff. This whole country needs to be a revamp of counseling.
Mm. And you know what's the challenge with that, Khandi? If they see it every day, they eventually begin to believe it's normal. That's normal behavior. So when they become an adult, having been ingrained in that, it's like nothing to continue the abnormal behavior, because as far as you're concerned, that's normal. But you said something though that I wanna touch on. You talked about the role of the church, and you also mentioned the role of counseling. And here is a part of the problem. I know of a situation. I've heard of a situation right here in the Bahamas, happened some time ago, where a woman who was in an abusive relationship finally grew up, built up the courage to leave, went into I believe one of those few shelters that we have, because we desperately have to talk about that. We desperately need more places for women to find refuge, women and children. So she gets the courage to leave. She goes into this facility. And then the husband goes to the pastor and convinces the pastor that he is so sorry, that he really didn't mean it, that he loves his wife and he misses his wife and this and the next. And the pastor convinces the woman to go back to this man. And within 3 days, she was dead. We need to get to the place where we realize that there are some things that require professional help beyond just you saying to somebody, turn to the Lord and all this kind of stuff. And I am not in any way discounting the power of a person repenting and changing their life. Okay? We've all done terrible things in our lives. But when you're going to have a situation where a pastor convinces somebody to go back into an abusive situation because they figure this person, without, like you just said, doing the work, making sure that these people have undergone counseling and gone through all of those stages, and the woman dead. So do we need to get to the place where the church understands that this has to be a multi-pronged approach, where it can't just be you coming from your viewpoint and ignoring the professional work that needs to be done to address this?
I want to say this, Miss Malcolm. The church now has to know its role. We have so many churches in this country operating under the spirit of manipulation. One thing it is to give the people the word of God. That's one thing. But I don't need you to speak to your flesh. Like I can tell you a situation with me personally. When I would have gone to a certain church, and I told the pastor, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And he said, oh yeah, do this because, Ray and bugger. I went and did it, and up to the day, I'm still paying off a bill because the pastor told me to go do this. And so I said to say this, pastors need to know their role in the church. Your opinion is your opinion. You cannot force your theology or whatever you believe on no person. You could say, okay, this is what the Bible says, but now this is the modern day time and you're living through this. Whatever decision you make, Mom, as your pastor, I will support you. Now, I would recommend counseling for both persons, not just for you and not just for him, for both you guys. So you let the women go counsel, whatever, let the man go counsel, whatever. And then in the midst of that, then if you could hear from the woman, the man, if it make any sense, and then you could hear from boy if it don't make no sense. If you see that it makes sense, then you bring in counseling and you bit by bit. You don't just force them right away. Okay, no, I'm just how it's going because I a pastor. No. Pastors need to stop manipulating the people of God. The body of Christ. They need to stop manipulating them now. Go on to the times now. Go, because at the end of the day, the pastor can make you, could tell you what he feel like. At the end of the day, you have to live with that decision. You go home to that man. You go home to that woman. So you now have to see God. You have to see Christ. And like I tell persons, God and you ain't mad. The pastor could confirm 1 or 2 things, but you speak to God. You seek God. Or whatever religion belief. If you're a Rastafarian belief, you seek your Rastafarian. If you are a Buddha, but whoever you are for, Jehovah, whoever you for, you seek that. Let it be a source of strength.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this is some heavy stuff. You're absolutely right. I just think that that the church too often does not understand that there are certain things that are required that involve professional counseling and that kind of thing. And I'm not knocking the work that the church does do. Okay. I think that it has to be a multi-pronged approach, though,
Yes.
where the spirituality must be, dealt with. But then you also need to have people receive professional counseling as well beyond the spirituality, so that we can really deal with this.
That's it, Miss Malcolm. Not cutting you off. And you know what I realized too, Miss Malcolm? Persons want help, but everything there's a fee. I know I need counseling, but
But
where
how
do
you
I
gonna afford
find the $150 to go
Yeah.
seek counseling? How do I do that?
Yeah. So, as far as you're aware, do we not have something in place for persons who can't afford it we don't have a government agency that provides that service, as far as you're aware?
Well, I know you have out with social services, they provide counseling, but like you would want to go I think it's Dr. Thompson, that's who he is. Dr. Thompson, the man with the
Yeah.
right, he is good. And then I forget this other. Then you have also have life coaches. They're good also. Like we have Stanya Davis, we have Dr. Melissa Hall, we have the life coaches, and then we have I can't remember his name.
Are they providing free service though?
Yeah, you could once you mention foam, once foam do the referral, you will get free services from them, and that's why we try to make our wings broad, that we can partnership with various person, and they be able to provide you free service once foam give you referral letters sending you to them.
That's fantastic, Khandi. That is really commendable.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to take a quick break. On the
problem.
other side of the break, we're going to continue this conversation with Khandi Gibson from FOAM. We're talking today about the proliferation of violence against women and children. Violence in general, because like I said, men suffering silently through this too, even though not as much as women and children are. What is it going to take for us to fix this problem once and for all? Let's talk about it. This is GPS on Global 99.5 FM.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
And welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company. And my guest today is Khandi Gibson from FOAM. We're talking about the scourge of violence against women and children and what we need to do to stamp it out once and for all. Our telephone lines are 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0271, or 326-0272, 326-0272, 326-0272. And our WhatsApp number is 824-9952, 824-9952. So we're talking about what we need to do, to solve this problem. And I have a couple of comments here. Siobhan says, we must tackle this rape culture and tolerance of abusive behavior. Let's break down for our audience, Khandi, what is rape culture so they can understand what she's talking about.
First of all, I think we should let her explain what our version of rape culture is. But I feel like, when women are raped, they're ashamed. And like people now, they think like, they tend to like scorn rape victims. And then too, I think too, even with the legal side, with the systems, how long the case takes to come. I know a lady who I know, she would have been not raped, but she would have been attacked. And so she stabbed multiple times about her body. And she's able to, she's 15 at the time, and she was able to crawl over the fence and over the wall or whatever the case is. And she already had 4 children since then. Mm-hmm. And the case came up when she's pregnant with a set of twins. And I feel too, the system in itself, the time the case take to come up alone, I think is traumatizing for somebody who would have already been through rape or whatever.
Mm-hmm. A part of the problem, I think, that she's referring to when she talks about rape culture is this attitude that seems to be pervasive in our society, where, if you walk outside wearing a dress that I think is too short, then I got a right to deal with you, or making the victim the person who is responsible for the attack on them. That there's this whole attitude of, well, you caused me to do this, or you understand what I'm saying? Siobhan says, rape culture behaviors commonly associated with rape culture include victim blaming, slut shaming, sexual objectification, trivializing rape, denial of widespread rape, refusing to acknowledge the harm caused by sexual violence, or some combination of these. How much of a problem is this from where you sit, Khandi, in our society?
I think on the whole, victims are not treated fairly in our country. Mm-hmm. I could even say from from the onset of it. Okay, first of all, if it was up to me, that glass window, that glass cage they have at every police station, a glass it's not really glass, but that hard clear thing that everybody stops to say what their problem is, their issue, what they come to the station for.
Right.
I would move that. I wouldn't have that. Even though it's during COVID-19, now I'll have like rape and domestic abuse situation. They would come to a certain door.
I see.
Like how it's a front door and a back door. They would
Mhm.
come to a certain door if it's domestic abuse and rape was incest, molestation. They'll go through the back part because at the end of the day, once you would have been raped or abused by somebody, people sitting down to get their chassis check and come to report a house break-in. They don't need to know what you come there for.
Right.
That's one. We need to change the whole system. That needs to be revamped to be more accommodating to us victims. You know, your boyfriend blocked your eye, you get busting head, people that see you sitting down, waiting to be seen, or gotta go to the window to tell them, oh yeah, I can report my boyfriend, my husband, he just did this to me. That ain't nobody business. There should be a special door for you to enter through. That's just for you. That's one. Two, I see situations where you even go to the AG office and you want to check up on your matter. 2 or 3 people sitting down checking up on their matter. So they can hear what you coming there for. Like, where's the privacy?
Right.
Where's the secrecy in our country? Like, I don't understand it, for the love of God. Why do we leave victims out there in the open like we don't care? So just suppose now I sitting down with a friend or I come and check on something, you accusing my brother, my uncle, my cousin, that he raped, when a case come, I can say, right there, but you see, look here, look at so-and-so here now, check on the case. She here now, or he here now. Why we do victims like that?
Right.
So we need now to protect people that when they want to come forward and say what's going on with them, there's secrecy that if it get out, only could be them.
Right.
And so we need to treat victims again differently. We need to treat victims with dignity in our country. And we don't do that. We don't do that.
And then we wonder why so few people are willing to come forward when this happens, because we've heard the police say it time and time again that the numbers, although they are very high, are not a true reflection of what is actually happening out there, because a lot of people go through this and they don't come forward for all of the reasons that you just mentioned. So the problem is even greater than we realize.
That reminds me, some time back, I had a lady with a domestic situation where her baby daddy boyfriend fought her. Her head was bleeding. She had a concussion in the back of her head. Her head was bleeding. She went to the hospital. The hospital refer her to the clinic because they don't go be witness in cases like this. I say, Bill, I cussed. You understand me? What you mean you don't take on matters like this because you don't want to be witness? How does this work in our country? So if my boyfriend, my husband injured me, and I come to you for the police give me something to take you for medical assistance, you then refer me because y'all don't go to the court to be witness statement. I guess so. Who there is not to say, well, this mild did happen. Who would there it stands not to say, well, I am the victim. This did happen, and stand the witness that this happened. Who stands up for me?
Yeah. Now, I've heard in the past where there's been a problem where, and you could tell me if this is still happening or not in this country, where someone will go to report something and are told that's a domestic matter. We can't get involved in that.
We have some, and Miss Malcolm, you know what is so sad in our list? See, when we talk about domestic violence, we got to deal with it straight across the board. We can't just quickly go look for the marginalized young man and look for him off East Street, Camp Road, Baintown, Pine, and arrest him. But then we have those higher ups doing their wives and their girlfriend, putting guns on them and beat them down like a dog. And we don't do nothing to them. So when we say domestic violence, it got to be just one, no red tape. Nobody, I don't care if you wear khaki stripes, whatever you wear, has the right to harm or attack, punch, slap, financial or physical abuse any mankind. So that's whether it's girlfriend on girlfriend, boyfriend on boyfriend, however you put it, nobody has the right to it. And I don't care where you work or who you is in this country, you don't have the right to it. You know, brotherhood, no sisterhood to cover you up in this. You don't have a right to touch anybody. Keep your hands, your foot, your vehicles, your tools, your materials to yourself.
Here's the thing. I wonder, and I know it's not necessarily, it won't necessarily serve as a deterrent, but do you believe that our laws have enough bite as it relates to domestic violence, or you think they're still antiquated and need to be revamped?
Well, I said I was doing a law reform on last week, and so something should be in the making as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, and I would say again, see, having the laws in place is one thing. Before we get to the laws now, we need to have the safe spaces and the protection and the shelters. We need to have their mechanism in place because we all have to help tie into law reform. Because if you change the law and I get bail today and they come to the house today, where do I go? Which, and then too, okay, I had a situation too, Miss Malcolm, whereas I had this lady, I was able to go get a rescue out from her situation. I took her by me, but my house was overcrowded. So I was able to go, I thank God, Minister Frankie Campbell at the time, I was able to reach out to him. He passed the matter down. He was able to get to a safe space, but guess what? That safe space was for a week. The female car wasn't working. The job she had and the nursery her child goes to was all in different areas. You know what she said? Miss Gibson, I'm sorry, but I can't be here. Can you drop me back home, please?
Wow.
Miss Malcolm, that hurt me so much to have to drop her back because at the end of the day, you don't know if you drop this girl back to her death.
Yeah.
And so that hurt me so much. And so, you know, when I went there, I'm dropping her back, I had to take on the law enforcement side of me now. I had to become what it needs to be. The strong person in this, and also be the victim in this. And so I spoke with her, and I said to him, I said, sir, if I had to, sir, I wouldn't bring her back. But unfortunately, I have to do this. But I said, I'm going to tell you one thing, sir. I said, if you touch her one more time, sir, if you touch, you see, I tell myself, you see the space? You see the space, sir? If you touch her one more time, I can pay you a visit. You ain't going to like it. You ain't going to like it, sir. No, miss, where we going? No. And he started telling me his story, whatever. And I started, and I thought, okay. I thought, so now you want to talk. Bro, we could talk. So I pull him outside the house, and she was like, we started talking. And after I started talking to him, and he calmed down, and I started talking to her. And I started to show, okay, if you do this, and he do that, and whatever. So eventually, what happened was that night, they were able to stay together, and I would periodically check up on. I provide grocery, I provide news clothes to them. I would check them on. I would put up on her job, make sure okay. I'd slide up by his work to see if he's okay. And I can tell you today, they have a pretty much good relationship.
So you think a part of the problem then, based on what you're describing right now, is it's a communication problem? That
it's communication, and two, pressure burst pipe. Sometimes people don't need to bend, if and that's just a lot of us holding in stuff, but some of us have this child inward hurting us that we never let go when we was a child.
Never dealt with
so
it.
We have not we don't let go of them as yet. So when we date, we take that brokenness from our childhood, we bring it into a relationship, and guess what? That relationship don't work. So we carry that broken relationship along with our past previous trauma. Like we continue, them luggage we just bring to customs. When customs ask us, how many spend? I only spent $20. But you spend like a good $2 on a good $3,000. So we tend to bring all them luggage behind, and we never get a chance to bend. So when you see pressure boys pipe, that's it. You in my space, I in yours, and we clash it.
And speaking of pressure burst and pipe, this pandemic didn't make the situation any easier, because at least before the lockdowns, you would have been able to have some freedom from your abuser for a couple of hours. But with the lockdowns and people having to be around each other more than they normally would, they saw where the numbers escalated of the instances of domestic violence, because people were forced to face each other. And unfortunately, some of them weren't happy with what they had to face.
And I tell you, because Miss Malcolm, I was able to navigate through the roadblocks. In fact, Senator Lisa Bostwick spoke of us inside the Senate. And she said how Khandi and Felicia Carey from TLS was able to navigate the roadblocks. So when I go to the roadblocks, my office be like, let her go to mom. You phone, let phone go, because they know point blank I was going to a female.
Right.
And sometimes when I would go there, who I didn't see in hand, holding their hand, because the boy would whop them on their hand, who I see, done get them. So the husband throw all his stuff and all his personal stuff inside the yard. The husband tell him, oh, you go carry those children, that's yours. I keep my one with me. I have seen so many stuff doing last year, COVID-19, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. And guess what? In the midst of this, these women don't want press charges. They don't want press charges.
It's a part of that because they're afraid of the consequences of pressing charges, especially if things don't end up with
Yeah,
the person being incarcerated long term.
They're afraid, and I'm gonna tell you a word of lie. You know our biggest fear as women? Starting over. Starting over.
Fear of the unknown.
Yes, starting over, especially when you become so dependent on this man. Like this man is your livelihood. Like this man is you. You understand? So you could imagine starting over, you don't invest your all, and so much, like I said again, are so financially abused, that we don't we know we want pull out, we want move out, but we don't have any money to even move out. So like you said, the fear of unknown is a serious thing in our country and our culture.
Wow. Okay, the telephone numbers to call 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0271, or 326-0272, 326-0272, and the WhatsApp number 824-9952, 824-9952. Siobhan says, also, it may be as a result of trauma bonding. We need to learn the terms and signs and effects of why victims stay. This problem is so deep rooted. So there's so many things that play into this that, the problem is if we don't address them, even if we have to take it one at a time, if we just keep saying, oh, it's such a big problem, we'll never get it done. And we have to get it done. Siobhan says trauma bonding is the attachment an abused person feels for their abuser, specifically in a relationship with a cyclical pattern of abuse. Wow. A big part of the problem, too, I believe, is the shortcomings of our educational system. Because we have too many females, too many people who are just passing through the school system, unable to, functionally illiterate for the most part. And therefore, their options are extremely limited because if you can't read and write, ain't too many jobs out there for you to be hired on. We hear a lot about unemployment in this country, and I think we don't spend enough time talking about people who are not unemployed, but who are unemployable. So if you're in a situation, is that a caller for the show? Okay, we have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Malcolm.
Hi.
And good afternoon, Ms. Gibson.
Good
I
afternoon.
want to first say, Ms. Gibson, thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you.
For our country, okay?
Thank you.
You're doing an awesome. I've watched you over the years, and you have done exceptionally well.
Thank
and
you.
God bless you. And, He will bless you, and He is blessing you going forward. But I hear you, and it's so heart-wrenching to hear these things, but there needs to be more action. There needs to be more action across the board in reference to the assistance, in reference to the psychological aspect, the shelter, the need for the shelter in this country, because we have so much land that we own, and I'm sure we have prisoners, we have persons who can actually build these places up in less than a month, okay, and places that are really, really, far out, in these remote areas, right? So that the children, the families, the women especially, right? And there should be an area center for men who you understand, you mentioned the counseling, which is so important. And you should pursue that more, Ms. Gibson, as well, getting into that professionally as well, right? With the counseling part of it too. That's a good career path for you because you're good at it. We need that, and we find we give these crown land away, or we lease them out, and we do other fine things to do with them, right? But we can use those things. It can be the property where the children, the families can even learn to grow things, do learn different skills. There's so many things that can go. But one more thing I want to add to the conversation that I don't hear much about, it's the elder abuse. You have so many, and especially during this pandemic, instances where you had actually sons beating their mothers. You have a lot of, and then and you have the same. It's the same. What do you call it? It's the same path. It's the same thing that you speak of Ms. Gibson and Ms. Malcolm about the victim not wanting to actually pursue the man because they don't want their good son or they don't want their child to go to jail, but yet their faces are all bruised up. The police will tell you, you have to take this, you have to press charges. And the police, their hands are tied in instances like this. How far would you all recommend or suggest that with the law, which I know there has to be changes that have to be made in the law in cases like this, where if a person comes to the station, right, or you hear reports this man or this person is abusing this person, and they go, but the person does not press charges. Up to how many times do you think the law needs to step in and say, okay, you don't press charges, we see the evidence, we see the damage, the doctor's report, we're going to take this we're going to do the follow up with the charges. I'll hang up and I'll listen, okay? Thank you for taking my call, Michelle.
Thanks so much for calling. That's a really good question, because my thing is this: if you, she has a point, and I don't understand. I'm not a lawyer, and I don't understand, how it works. But if the evidence is there, I don't see why I need you to press charges if the evidence is there. But obviously, there's something there that our law doesn't quite work that way, because unless the victim press charges, and Khandi, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is our law set up in a way that the victim has to press charges in order for it to proceed? At no point can the law step in and say, we pressing charges?
Guess what? I'm sorry, when you said, I was just using that scenario the other day. I said, like, like how, and so like some countries, some states say, well, Illinois versus Khandi Gibson.
Right.
That means that ain't you pressing charge. That's the
state.
country, the state now pressing charge against you. And I think that's how we should do it moving forward now. We should move forward where, okay, guess what? Like you say, there's evidence. Like, for instance, there was evidence with a guy running over Lady Key West Street. There's evidence.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't have to be waiting on her. If she want to press charge, that's supposed to be, he's supposed to automatically. Now, I can't say if she did or she didn't. Let me say that. But like situations like that, there should be no hold up. That now the country of the Bahamas versus whatever him or her name is.
Right.
And that's what it should be. And piggyback on what the lady said, when it comes to Crown Land, from 2017, I think, or 18, my application has been in.
Wow.
From before we had Hurricane Dorian, I read it to the vision. We need shelters.
Mm-hmm.
We need safe space for people. I even recommend one time, I got so frustrated during Hurricane Dorian or whatever, where people keep coming to me for sheltering. I said, these repossessed houses around the place, use them, turn them into shelters. And so I feel like, and it's so sad that we don't have no governmental shelter, that if any was a kick up, that we can put people as a safe haven until a storm passes over. If something kick up, right, of a mother or somebody's fleeing from a domestic situation, if there is any space, because this domestic is very prevalent in our country, if there's any space that the government can't find, you only allow it a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then what? And my thing about it is, and it's so easy for the queues, because I had a lady, she went to the station, she reported the gentleman, the police couldn't find the gentleman, however to catch him, they didn't catch him. One day she going to pick a children up from school. He jumped on top of her hood, and he break her windshield out trying to get at her.
Wow. And
so I'm writing about even when you you put the people up for 2 weeks, their children still go to the same school. So which means if the police don't catch the perpetrator or the accused right away, he still have access to the female. Her mother still lives the same place. You like your mommy, your children to go to the same school. So we have to find a way that we can keep victims safe until that storm passes over.
Yeah.
And we cannot just depend upon the government. And I'm going to be real, the government now is going to have to utilize NGOs more than ever, because when their offices close a certain time, NGOs are 24 hours. We always on the ground working. And I always would say, like, there should be something in the budget for grassroots NGOs who constantly on the ground working and assisting people. There should be an automatic stipend. Hey, Ms. Gibson, we're going to give you $100 every year. So something to match our efforts. Because I know one time, Ms. Malcolm, I had 28 persons at my housing project. I had a family of 4 here, and I had 3 ladies at my home. The government didn't match my effort with that. If it wasn't for the goodness of God in my heart, where would these people be? So if you add the one family here, the 27 people there, and the 3 I had for them, times that, and see how much money I saved the government. You trying to tell me they couldn't wait us out to Ms. Gibson for your effort? We want to match your effort. We can give you $200.
But here's the thing, successive governments, they find money for what they want to find money for. I'm sorry. We hear the news stories all the time about how much money is spent on these various trips and how much. Listen, man, they spent $50,000 on a Christmas tree. $50,000 on a Christmas tree. When I heard that figure, I was like, well, blow me down. It's a beautiful tree. But $50,000? You know how much people you could help with $50,000?
All right.
So I said, and I knocking again, don't get me wrong. I ain't knocking the people who do the tree. That's what, hey, I don't believe in trying to talk people down for their price. If that's your price, that's your price. But where are our priorities? That's the point I'm trying to get at. Where are our priorities when we don't have a problem spending that kind of money on a beautiful Christmas tree and decorations downtown, but you can't seem to find a way to create safe spaces for your women and children who are being abused? Like, we seem to have our priorities mixed up. Because governments find money for what they want to find money for. It's just a matter of where are your priorities. But listen, we have to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation with Khandi Gibson from FOAM. We're talking about what do we need to do to end this horrific scourge of violence against women and children in our country. We want to hear from you. So we're going to take this quick break, and then when we come back on the other side, we're going to open the phone lines once again. Stay with us. This is GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Track Life, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company. Listen, guys, I want to encourage you to, if you want to enjoy a good meal, nice, friendly family atmosphere in the open breeze, enjoying yourself, having a good time, drinking a tropical drink, no place better than the Tiki Bikini Hut on Junkanoo Beach, where Byron Coley Austin and his team go all out to make sure that you enjoy your experience there. And the food, second to none. So go ahead, visit them at Junkanoo Beach. Tell them that Michelle Malcolm sent you. You heard about them on GPS, and they're going to show you a wonderful time. So we are talking to Khandi Gibson today from phone, and our topic today is how do we eradicate the scourge of violence against women and children. Our telephone numbers to call are 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0271, or 326-0272, 326-0272, 326-0272. And our WhatsApp line, which I keep forgetting to check, is 824-9952. 824-9952 is the WhatsApp line. So, talking to Khandi Gibson about this problem that we have in our country, and Charmaine says on our Facebook stream, the country is not about protecting women and children. You know, we find money for what we want to find money for. I think we just need to get our priorities straight. But here's one thing I want to point out, though, Khandi, because I don't want people to believe for 1 second that the only people who suffer from this are people of a lower income class. Because you got some highfalutin people, right? Who, married to these big timers, and and they putting on a face, and get that good makeup to cover up that black eye, and they pretending that all is well, and they catch an eternal hell. So this problem isn't only limited to one class of people, correct?
Correct. No, correct. Like I told you earlier, it's not just limited to just the marginalized people. We have those way up being disrespected, and being abused. You have husbands even break their wives' arm, and they way up there. You understand me? So you could, and then you really can't blame the woman too, because you can imagine your husband is who he is, and this is just the monster you actually married to and gotta come home to, but yet in the media and all, and this person, that person, he is such and such a this, and he's such and such a that, and so it makes you now like your self-esteem throughout the years drop. And I ain't gonna word lie, Miss Malcolm. These men, they tend to eat our brain. But
Please explain what you mean by that, because that doesn't sound too good.
They tend to tell you stuff, and have you thinking one is 11,000. And we know 1 and 1 is 2. They will tell you stuff and then make you feel like you stupid,
You're talking about the systematic wearing down of a person's self-esteem.
You want to beating you down constantly, like, you know, you can't get it right, you can't do this, you
And you
want
start to
this
believe
to this level. You understand me? So they eat your brain mentally. That even when you think that you know you deserve better, you know this in you, but they have you beaten down so.
Listen to how psychotic this can be. I watched a video of a professional woman. It was an American woman, a professional woman. I think she was a professor or something like that, who was married to an abusive man. And she said for a long, and I thought this is crazy, but you shouldn't say crazy, but I just couldn't believe it. But I was glad she was honest enough to talk about it. This was during a TED Talk. She said that for a long time, she didn't see herself as an abused woman. Listen to this now. She saw herself as an incredibly strong person who was trying to help this broken person get fixed. Was trying to help fix a broken person. So this abuse that he was putting on her was just a part of her being strong to try to help him to heal. And I was like, boy, that is twisted, right? And it wasn't until the abuse got so bad, because it kept getting worse and worse and worse, to the point where she woke up in a hospital. He nearly killed her. That she realized, okay, it's time for me to come out of La La Land with that fantasy I've been telling myself and realize I'm just an abused woman. Right? But this is what they do. They work on your psyche. They convince you that you are not worthy of love. You can't do anything right. You are being abused because you have brought this on yourself. That you understand what I'm saying? And so we have to do some serious heavy lifting, some serious work to get people to understand that you are worthy of love. You are worthy. I don't care what a person tells you. You are worthy. How do we get there?
First of all, I want to say I think bosses, employers, they hire us women, yes, and when we get a job, our job is come and perform, and that is true. Our job is come and perform. But Miss Malcolm, we need bosses who are going to care for their staff. Like when I had my staff coming here, I had something they would say every day. I am wonderful and fearfully made. And you know what? Every day they come in, I would make them say that. I am, and whenever they come in, only person that can stop me is me. I am beautiful. And so whenever they come, I have a mirror right here. And they would stop there and they would speak into their spirit. And so I think now, like, we as bosses, we paying our staff a salary. They had to flip the hamburger, sell the hamburger, do the salad, do this. No, but let's put into our staff. We should have a open door where our staff can come and, hey, like, I can walk in this office and my staff, okay, what's wrong? Something wrong. Come, let's talk. What's up?
Yeah.
We have to be more in tune to our staff. If we really care about them, not just care about making the money.
Staff, but people around you. But we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Malcolm, and to your guest.
Hey, what you saying?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I was enjoying the conversation. I have two daughters. One is an adult, right? So I don't have to worry about it because she's very sensible when it comes to this particular paradigm. But I was unwilling to call, but something happened last week through the corner where I live. I wouldn't say where it is, but I can tell you this. The person, it was a taxi driver. And so a friend of mine was on the corner. Nobody knew, but they heard the noise. This young lady ran out of this taxi, right? That's the only reason why I'm calling. She ran out of this taxi. I guess it was her boyfriend or husband or whatever. I don't know the situation, and she ran, but everybody heard her screaming. So my friend came out. He's about my height, about 6'3", but he's heavier than me. He weighs about 200, just over 200. So he intervened because the guy was beating the lady viciously, man, barbarously. And so the lady, after he intervened, the lady broke away and ran to a nearby house, right? And my other friend who came out, he's about my height, but he weighs about almost 400 pounds. So he came out, and just let the gentleman know like that. But he was very violent. And so the thing is, why I call is this was being done in the front of the lady, the little young child. The child maybe would have been about 4 or 5. So this was being done, and this went on for a while because what was very upsetting for me was the fact that he was unwilling to stop even while people start to come out and look. So I was wondering where that psyche came from, and this is out in the public. This is, well, it's the main. It was like about maybe 20 feet from the main road, and so they're willing to do this type of behavior in the front of people. So this is scary.
That could tell you what's going on in private.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So and I don't know where we get this concept from. Maybe I born in the 60s, 64. So I don't know. But I've never even had to get that like that with a woman. I mean, you're a man, so I don't know. I think it starts with the young men. But the thing is, this is trending with young males, because I've heard some females say, "No, it's called a talk show," and I swear, Ms. Malcolm, some of them have told me instances like if they have an ex and they don't bother with him, but they have told them if they see them with anybody else, what would happen to the person who they with. And this is the type of psyche that is going on. These are people out of touch. But Ms. Malcolm, can I make a little laughter about it? I heard someone said something about who spent $50,000 on a Christmas tree. Yeah, well, what happened is this is the reason why the third world region is the way we are. Most people don't realize that the reason why they put the whole world on one ideology is for people to get rich. So, obviously they're wasting money. I look at the Christmas decorations. We couldn't even enjoy Christmas, but they spend money, obviously, to enrich somebody else. I didn't need to see any light, because my God didn't really give me sunlight. Have a good day. All right.
My God, already give me sunlight.
We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Ms. Malcolm.
Hi.
Good afternoon to your guest.
Good afternoon.
I just wanted to share a little story as a bus driver, right? This guy came on the bus. I know him. He's 48, and he was a nice lady. She like late 80s. Only with 10 people on the bus, and he just started fighting and beating on the bus. So as the driver, I said, "Man, look here, don't do that, man. That's your woman. You do them things in private. You beat her in private." So the people on the bus started agreeing with me.
No, you wrong for
listen. And then the woman herself said, "Yeah, you do that in private." And it wasn't until like the next day I thought about what I said and what we were saying on the bus. And I was like, wow, you mean we that bad in society where we saying you should beat it
not private,
not all, but beat it in private? And I was like, I felt so bad within myself for saying it, but it didn't really hit me at the time what I was saying, because that was kind of the mentality,
Right. I'm glad you're being honest. I'm glad you're being honest here.
Yeah, it didn't really hit me until the next day. You tell the man, go beat your woman in private. And you never said you shouldn't hit the woman. And it felt bad, because that kind of showed me like, man, maybe that's something I saw when I was younger, or that's something what was instilled or I expected. But I know something was off with me for saying that, but the people was agreeing with me. And I just share the story because that's the kind of a mentality in the society, and shows like this could change that mentality, and that's what we need in the nation.
Wow. Thanks for being honest, man. Thank you for calling, and I'm glad that you came to that realization. I'm glad, because some people don't ever get there.
Exactly.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for calling. Wow. Siobhan says, the law doesn't help. The system, too, is letting the victims down. Unless a woman is killed, it seems that there is no provision in place to prevent abuse. Yeah, we get all upset when it comes to that. The outrage lasts for 2 days, a week, maybe? And then we go right back to
the norm.
It's nothing. This is clearly something that, like I said, if we don't get a handle on this, I don't think, Khandi, that and when I say we, that the powers that be, and maybe they do, and they just don't know what to do to fix it. But I don't, sometimes I wonder whether or not we understand the real implications for the nation if we don't fix this problem.
See, understanding the real implication and caring is too different. You understand me? We have to first care. Like, you notice, like when someone get killed in our country, everybody outraged. Oh, Mother City had to do that. Shit, do that. Everybody outraged. But like you say, 1-2 days later, it died on, like, after Bella got killed. I could say I am one of the persons that still have Bella on my page. Then Heavenly got killed. Then and then it was the Miss Claudia Capron. She got killed. So I created a collage, and my profile pictures them through on my collage. Because guess what? At the end of the day, they were females that were killing our country. Little 4-year-old Bella, little Heavily, a young lady Heavily, and then Miss Claudia getting killed while heading to prayer meeting, steps away from saying hallelujah. And we wonder, like, okay, like when a man could actually hurt a child, whether it be intentionally or not intentionally, and could do this stuff to females and children. We wonder, like, where are we as a country? And to be honest with Malcolm, like, we've been losing our children from time. Look at EJ, home, bullet come to the window, the house, kill him. Look at a boy in Foxville a couple years ago, sitting watching TV, 11-year-old boy, 2 boys, them shooting at each other, however warned, the bullet gone to the house and killed the boy. Look at the twin boy down here, I think in Baytown somewhere. Bullet come to the house, look, not his on the target, shoot him. Like, come on, like a Cameron. Look at right down in Nassau, where the other little boy, Rahiz, that's his name, Sandy Williams' son. Look at him. Come on, like, we just, look at a little girl out on Bel Air. The little girl, 10-year-old girl. Look at the girl the other day inside when the boys some get killed on Jerome Avenue. She was in the car with her daddy. Look at a woman whose son got killed with a husband holding the son, and the husband got killed. The son got killed. The little 4-year-old boy got killed. All 2 of them died. The person hopped in the car. Whoever the killers were hopping in the car, kidnapped the other 2 children. Eventually find the car through the bush with the children unharmed. Come on.
Yeah.
Stuff been happening in our country against our little children. And it's like, big deal. If they catch them, or if they don't catch them, if they catch them, they're entitled to bail because that's their constitutional right. They get to fight and advocate, go to Supreme Court, the Privy Council, get a overturn. It's just case it's overturned because of this or because of that. They get to fight. But when they take your innocent loved one, that's it. They sleep on concrete, and your loved one sleep under concrete. So we need to get from that now. Whereas people in this country just killing us, like, okay, that's who get killed today. Oh, like if I'll put up a sign, I'll put up something on Facebook. What's popping? That means someone got killed.
Yeah.
Where? That's it. All I can say about is where. And that's it, nothing else. We have to move from that because these are lives. These are human beings.
Yeah. Families being impacted, children being impacted. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I shudder to think where this country will be if we, as a collective, don't get beyond the temporary outrage and get angry enough to actually make a difference and do something about the problem. Because it's one thing to be outraged when something happens. But if you go right back to what you were doing before in a matter of a week, then the outrage was clearly just a temporary outrage. When are we going to get to the point where this is something that, and listen, I commend you and the work that you're doing and the other NGOs out there who are trying to fill the gap because the government has not been able to address this within themselves. And like you said, thank God for the NGOs
who are
doing what you're doing. Thank God for the churches that are silently doing what they're doing. Because if you guys weren't there doing what you're doing, God forbid, where would we be? Where would we be? And I want people to understand that, I think a part of the problem, Khandi, is that when I say we as a collective, many people sit back and they see these things happening and they think, oh, that's happening to them.
Yeah, ain't happened to me.
Ain't happened to me. So yeah, I can be outraged. I can say, oh, that's terrible and we need to do something. And then I go back to, watch my favorite show on TV and I going back to doing whatever I normally do because that happening to them. It ain't happening to me. But what we don't realize is that in this little country we living in, everything that happened around you happening to you because it's only a matter of time before it get to your doorstep. And so you can't sit back to say, oh, I live in a gated community and I don't have to worry about this affecting me, because eventually you got to come out your house. Look at the teacher who was shot down driving.
Yeah, Miss Joy.
Just shot, killed. I mean, you got to come out your house. So unless you're keeping yourself locked down in your house, it's your problem as well.
And guess what? Murder could happen to anybody. Look how the former minister, Melanie Griffin husband. Look how Mr. Brown McCartney brother Kirk. Look, and let's go way back. You forget Chuck Virgil, eh?
I haven't.
Miss Linda Virgil husband. You understand me? So this could happen to anybody. So nobody exempt. And you say, come out your house. You don't even come out your house. Bullets flying in your house.
This is true.
So nobody exempt.
The telephone numbers to call 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0271, or 326-0272, 326-0272, 326-0272, and our WhatsApp number 824-9952, 824-9952. We want to hear from you out there. What do you believe is the solution or a part of the solution? Because I dare say that there's no one answer to that question. I think we could be here for the next 3 weeks talking about how to fix this problem. So it's a multifaceted problem, and it will take a multifaceted approach to fix the problem. And I just want to say, though, that we need to get away from pointing the finger at others who we think are at fault or not doing enough, because the saying, when you point a finger, it's four pointing back at you. The question is, what are you doing about the problem? Because it's easy to say, oh, the church ain't doing what they need to do, and these pastors need to do more. Okay. The government ain't doing what they need to do, and they need to enact more laws, more tougher laws. The legal system needs to get tougher on these people. Okay. Education system needs to be better. We be passing out too many children who don't know how to read and write. Okay. All right. All of that sounds good. Okay. Yeah. What role are you playing in all of this? What are you doing in all of this? Because it can't be where you point the finger at everybody else, but you aren't willing to do anything to help somebody. So if you see somebody being abused and you know that person is being abused, do you sit in silence? Do you call the authorities? Do you try to help that person in any way? Do you talk to that person? Do you offer support? Do you anything? Or do you just say, boy, he beating her again? Lord, I hope he stops soon. What are you doing to help fix the problem? Because I dare say that it's going to take all of us. All of us have to do something. And it could be, so listen, a lot of people right now in this country are going through some rough times. The decimation of our economy does not help this situation at all. That, like Khandi said earlier, pressure bursts pipes. And we have a lot of pipes bursting right now because people are under so much pressure because the economy has been decimated. People going through, and some people just can't handle the pressure and they lash out. So we need to understand that everybody's going through something. Some people sitting pretty, yes. Yeah. When people say we're in the same boat, we're in the same boat. I saw a friend of mine post on her on her Facebook page, we're not in the same boat, we're in the same storm. But if you in a nice big luxury yacht, you ain't feeling the storm like I feeling clinging on to a drift raft would for their life. So we may be in the same storm, but we ain't in the same boat. So the question is, you who have the ability to do something, listen, man, we have some people in this country who could build a shelter financially in a week. Money is nothing for them. Nothing. So, and especially a lot of them who making their money off the poor people. Making their money off of people back. You don't think they should give something back? But this is the society in which we live that, it's all about me and mine. We good.
Miss Malcolm, the other day, I was so upset and so frustrated. I say, wonder if I go be like the Haitians and go get a piece of land, squat on the land and go build a shelter. Would anybody come challenge me and take me off it?
Yeah, you can get locked up. Don't get twisted. That only is applied to some people, child. That don't apply to you. You can get locked up. You try that. It's a serious thing, though.
I tell you, that's why I was the other day. Like, let me go. I see a vacant land. Let me go squat. Let me go build stuff on that house. One couple people. Let me see what the government gonna do.
Yeah. But people need help, y'all. People need help. And if you are in a position to help, my God,
Please, yeah, man, please
do something. Help. Because before you know it, the same child that you ignoring who's being abused is going to grow into an adult and could be breaking in your house.
Sad but true.
Okay, so you can't ignore it and pretend it doesn't affect you, because it affects all of us. This country is too small for us to be going through this, because especially with us being a country that relies so heavily on tourism, if we constantly killing up each other and shooting up each other and stabbing up each other and all of killing children, that ain't just staying in our borders. That news is getting all around the world. And when people hear that, we have to be careful that we don't get to the place where people think twice about coming to our country because they figure it's not safe. And we're already hearing that about New Providence. We are already hearing that people think, don't go to New Providence. If the cruise ship comes to Nassau, just stay on the boat because it ain't safe out there. Now, when you go to the other family islands, you got, they better there. But we already have that problem here in New Providence. Are we going to sit back and allow it to get to the point where it's going to ruin the reputation of our nation to our degradation any further before we finally decide to do something? We want to hear from you. Let's talk about it. 3260271, 3260271, or 3260272 are the numbers to call. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go into the last segment of the show. We're talking to Khandi Gibson from Foam, and we're talking about the scourge of violence against women and children and violence in general. How do we put a stop to this madness? Stay with us. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company, talking to Khandi Gibson. We're talking about the scourge of violence against women and children in our country and what we need to do to stamp it out. I have a message that was sent from someone on our WhatsApp line, and this person says, I was married for 18 years and suffered from verbal and mental abuse. He had me thinking that I should be happy that he wasn't hitting me, and he praised himself for it. And I understand the lady who said she felt she was helping this broken man, because I thought I was doing the same thing because he had 2 previous unsuccessful marriages with mental But mental and verbal abuse is just as bad as physical. He knew what he was doing and admitted to me he was aware, but said it was what he needed to do to keep me in line. Living with someone who keeps questioning you and accusing you and saying all manner of evil against you, but then wants to have sex with you is downright crazy. And yes, he told me he did me a favor by marrying me and threatened me about divorce. Only he who has been through it understands what it does to you mentally, knows how it feels. We need to teach our boys and young men to treat our women and girls with respect. The lack of respect men have for women is the biggest problem we have. Selfish me treat women less than they deserve. But here's the thing. And I know it's a deep-rooted thing that requires professional counseling, etc. But we need to start respecting ourselves. You need to, if you are being abused out there, in any way, mental, physical, sexual, whatever it is. And I'm talking specifically to adults because unfortunately, children in this position really don't have very many options. You can tell somebody that you can trust, tell a pastor, tell a teacher, tell somebody. Don't just sit there in silence, tell somebody. But I'm speaking specifically to adults, right? You have to get to the point where you respect yourself, where you love yourself, where you realize that you are deserving of love. Because there's this thing called enablers, where or codependency. And that means that the person is abusive, but you are enabling them to be abusive by accepting their behavior and finding excuses for it. Like the woman who said she didn't see herself as abused. She thought she was a strong woman helping to fix him. That ain't your job to fix him. That ain't your job to fix somebody else, especially if it means you being abused. But you have to get to the point where you love yourself, where you realize you have worth. And I can imagine how difficult that is if you are constantly being beaten down verbally, physically, whatever. But you have to build up sufficient strength to decide that the unknown might be scary, but it ain't as bad. It ain't gonna never be as bad as you putting up with what you putting up with, in this case, for 18 years. What are your thoughts on that, Khandi?
I concur with you, but Miss Malcolm, how do you know your self-worth when you were never thought it? You watch your mom and your aunties, them, they love man. They did the man who beat them down. And so now it's the same cycle now. So now you're old enough, now you can date, or maybe was out dating at an early age to now. And the thing about it is like generational curse do exist. You normally tend to attract the same cycle that you say, I ain't gonna be like this, or I ain't want to be like that. You attract the same cycle. And so we can say you deserve this. And we sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, we know we deserve. I ain't gonna be real with you. You know why I stayed in my marriage? I stayed in my marriage because people said it wouldn't work.
So you just was trying to prove them wrong.
You understand me? And there are many out there like us who stay in our marriage because we want to prove the people wrong. We had our misunderstanding, we fought. You understand? Like I said, there was financial abuse. We had our shares until one that's like, some Khandi, no. And he would beat me down mentally too. And he would say stuff like, oh, nobody can warn you. You don't have 2 children. Stuff like that, And as pretty as I was, that time I dressed up, nails too, makeup, beat the Batelco. I was the itching the Batelco because trust me, I had them nails and makeup on fleek. This man had me beat down mentally, mentally and physically.
I'm sorry, go ahead, finish your point.
And so I said that. So sometimes, like I said, they eat your brains. And me, I just want to prove people, this marriage could work. So when I fought and I stayed at times, I pack up and I leave the time, I move right back up because you don't want to start over again. You don't be with this man so long. Then my first child is a green sled. I got this one now as a gift, and I never want 2 children from different men. So I tried sticking all I wanted, me and my husband to be living together and raise our daughters. I already had a child for man. I wasn't my husband. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
So I, on the other hand, try to do everything is right. But he's a man, he doing what he doing. And you know something, you have a lot of people. And I tell people, I crack joke with it. I was a single wife.
Wow.
Whatever that is, I was a single wife. So you out there, you people, so you strive, you making things happen, but you married for the public, yeah, but you deep inside, you single.
Catching that
And
ball.
so I had to find me. And so I eventually, you know, I put in for divorce before I cancel it, separate myself, then legally separate, then cancel it. Then one day said, no, man, I ain't gonna get them more. And I left.
Yeah.
And so we, even with this Miss Mark, I want to say this too. Fathers have to step up now. Not because you and the woman ain't together means that you must not do your part as a daddy. You could a mother only could go so far with children, you know. A mother's only go so far with men, children, but girls love their fathers. And so long as the father ain't molest, pardon me?
No, I'm only agreeing with you. You know,
yes, they love they work with it. My daughter will give me an F and she'll give her daddy an A for the same thing he failed and he'll get an A, but I'll get an F, I fail her.
Right.
She loved her daddy. And that's fine.
And not only love, but need the father, because the father figure is the first example of what she should be looking for in a mate.
My point exactly.
Using your wife in front of your daughter, you teaching her that this is what women get. This is how women are treated. And so you can't be one of them fathers who, oh, I don't want nobody touch my daughter, but you beating on a mother for her to see, because you teaching her
right
that this is what happens to women. And women, when you allow yourself to be abused in the presence of your children, you're teaching your children that this is the way it is. That reminds me of a movie based on a true story of the relationship between Michelet and Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, as we all know, abused women. And Michelet, who was his girlfriend at the time, based on her accounts, was terribly abused. And that particular movie that I'm talking about started with her as a child. Somebody in her family was being beaten up, and she said as a child, when I grew up, I ain't gonna let nobody be beaten up on me. And her mother was like, oh, no, you know, men are going to be men, and you have to put up with this if you love. And that got into that child's head to the point where she became a woman who was abused terribly. But she didn't start with that mindset. So we have to be careful what we teach our children. Because if you're teaching your children that this is normal, you setting them up for this kind of behavior. Red flags, Khandi, for somebody who is in a relationship right now. You may not be at the point now where this person is beating you up, but there are some red flags you should be aware of. If this person is one I'm thinking of on the top of my head, controlling. They got to control. They got to know where you going, what time you're coming back, what you wearing. They gotta follow you everywhere you go. They
gotta video call you.
Video call all the time. And you got some women, oh, Charlie, so love me. Listen. Stop being anyhow. Let me not. But that's a red flag.
Yeah, it is. But
what are some of the other red flags people need to look out for?
When you in love, you don't see the Bahamas flag, you don't see the US flag, you don't see no flag. Only thing you see is he love me. I know that's not
on all my children, on all my mother children, I love myself the best. You gotta love yourself the best.
You don't see no flag. Only you see is the heart wants who the heart wants. And so, and I went and guess what, especially when you know, like someone who I dated, but they tell me, say, I said, but you slap me. You ain't gonna be like, slap you? Why I ain't slap you? If I slap you, you'd have been knocked out cold. But you still slap me. You understand me? And so you have people would, like I tell this, eat your brains and telling you, like, you know, like, make it feel like you was the problem. You understand me? So I would just like, and it's like, tell people now too, when you dating, you have to now, like, I like right now, I will know who your mommy is. I will know who your daddy is. I will know who your uncle, who your brother. I need to investigate. Let me go wait online, see what's going on. Because once I get it, like even with my daughter, she's 15, when she started talking to boys, I ask her who their mommy is, where they work, where they live. I gotta do my best because I gotta protect my daughter. I don't want my daughter go travel no journey or roadblock stoppage where I've been through. So when she dies, who your friend is, what church they go to, where they live, I want to know. So we now to and I this I fully believe too. When you see a man who have respect for me, mommy, he ain't nothing for you.
I don't see how he could.
No, if he don't have no respect, if he's telling mommy carry this and carry that, and she calling me
always check to see how he treats his mother and sisters.
And that's the point. That's it right there. See the connection they have. Like, do they communicate? Is it always a beef? Is it always a problem? Oh, he anti-social. They have stuff he don't feel like he need to go to. He don't want you to go around them. Or why are you hanging around that friend? What that friend is? That friend ain't no good. When he starts them trying to take you away from your friends, they trying to isolate you. You think it's because they want to spend so much time with you? No. They're trying to isolate you.
That's not love.
That's right. So, you know, it's somewhat little signs we could look for, but like I said, when we're in love, we don't look into signs until it manifests itself into a big demon. And that's what happens. It manifests, you know, they keep picking, like I was like in the sky, and when I was talking to him, whatever, and he had wife, no wife, man, I just tired, like, you know, I just pushing, I was tired. And he was like, I'm tired. Whatever they if you pick up, you could drop me back home. I said, man, nothing, you near mine, you can't get a ride to come at me. So the man hit me one punch in my eye. And the bang what I have on this side, I put the bang on this side. You understand me? To hide the black eye. And I ain't the word lie. Miss Malcolm, I never look back. That was the quickest relationship I ever walk in and walk out. I never look back. I never call back. I never and mind you, he tried to reach out to me many times, tell me story. I was beyond struggle. I wasn't letting nobody hit me again. So we now have to know that, guess what? If he hit you once, he could hit you again.
Oh, that's just the introduction. That's just the first one is just the introduction.
You understand me?
Get away with the first one, and you could best believe you can be getting beat up.
My thing about it now, and because I've been abused in other relationship, when I went in another relationship, I was the one throwing the first blow. I was the one you come home leg grabbing the mobster, like cracking across your head. I was the aggressor. Wow. You understand me? And that's because it happened to me so much. So when I took on another relationship, I became the aggressor.
You be the victim again. Wow.
You understand me? We have to now, like, we have to have our mindset to guess what? This is who I am. This is what I'm bringing to the table. If he can't meet me this way with his personality or his energy, that ain't the one.
We have a call on the line, Khandi. Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello, caller, you still there?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing, Michelle?
Excellent. How are you?
Okay, thank God for life. I didn't get the name of your guest. She can't on bad.
Khandi Gibson.
Oh, that's Khandi, eh?
Yeah.
I know this can't on loose like that. I said, son, like Khandi, but I never know she was married.
Oh, yes.
How you doing, guys? I mean, Mom?
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay. Oh, boy, Khandi. I wish maybe one day, if not on this show, maybe another show or something, where we could have a man bold enough. I just want to do it, right? But, man, it comes with so much criticism. I like the part where you say you was married and you were single. There's so much stories to tell. But these humans, us humans, sometimes, if they could only walk a mile, I don't say a mile, walk a step in our shoe and see how it feels. And this go woman and man.
Yes.
You think just woman? All that drama you there shooting? I sure men could call our men going through the same things or worse.
Yeah.
All us individuals, we ain't no better than the others. Man, they say man is dog. And I don't think woman is dog neither. Or the B word what we call them. Ain't none of us better than the other. It's all how we respect ourselves and respect the other individual. And boy, from you get Jesus, boy, listen, skip the human beings. Don't worry about no husband or whatever. Don't worry about no wife as long as Jesus is on your side. I mean, we run hard, we need that affection. I don't think God make us to be alone.
Yeah.
But then again, these humans, you can't force humans. God even give us our free will and choices. I mean, marriage is a serious thing. The vow system is very serious. But, I mean, you can't force a human to do when they tired us, like, you know, and it's so sad. You know, they say for death do us part. And then there's one chance, but you can't kill them for that. All you can do is turn to Jesus and ask God for strength. I hear you talking about mothers and stuff like that. I tell you, it's a two-side thing, and it's a two-kind thing, head and tail, or two heads on one side. All the thing you could say about mothers, but the boys, if they don't respect their ma, the woman, the girls, them could tell you that too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a good example. If you see the girl don't respect their ma, or the boys don't respect ma, maybe you could determine what you want to determine. But like I said, walk a step or a mile in their shoe and find out why. Two wrongs don't make a right. The Bible said we should honor our parents that we will live on long on this earth. But you could imagine the first time you see a woman underneath or whatsoever between a woman's leg is your ma. You know how they tell you kiss this and kiss that and all that cussing and all that stuff. You can imagine all that foolishness.
But Candy had a good point, and call it.
We need help. We need help. We only listen. Get psychiatrists, and we get all of that right. But I think
Candy had a good point when she said at the beginning of the show that we need to go back to God.
Yes, I missed that part.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I missed that part. We have to go. Only God can help us. You understand? You can imagine you was a boy. Your mom growing. You're telling me about your BK, and I ain't talking about Burger King. You ain't talking about BK. You a male, but that's what she telling you and everywhere. You grow up with that damn sickness. Excuse me. Every time you run out, you cussing niggas telling them they BK.
I'm glad you called with this perspective because you're absolutely right. I remember I was visiting a friend of mine some time back.
Don't cut me, producer. I listen in, Michelle.
I was visiting a friend of mine some months back who lives in an over the hill community, and this woman was walking down the street with her little boy, and she was cursing that little boy out. And so my friend said to her, "How much times I gotta tell you stop cursing at this boy?" And she turned on him.
Yes, the way we grow up.
And I said to myself, and the boy was crying. He walking and crying. And she started running on about how she in other words, what she was saying was she didn't
bring him on the earth.
Right, because she was only, she didn't expect to get pregnant. She was only having. And
so
I looked at her and I was
Candy, you could imagine mothers telling their children that.
Yeah, the poor boy was walking behind her crying. And I'm saying to myself, don't you, clearly she needs help because.
Yeah. She may have been through a lot too. Yes, he needs her.
Exactly. Because it's not about what is wrong with you. It's about what happened to you. And what we're seeing.
Lord, you hit the nail right on the damn head.
What we're seeing is a continuous cycle of abuse from generation to generation.
So what I want to say, but that we continuous recycle a generation, right? We got to do better. Not because our parents mess up, right? Not because your mom or they telling you be careful how you talk to your children. And it's a trend. You understand? They abuse you verbally. Now you up, you growing big. When you run out, you're doing the same thing. But like I said, we gotta want to make a difference. We gotta want to be a better man for a wife or for a girlfriend. Treat woman better than your mom treats you. Y'all either treat man better than your fathers or your mom treat. Some of your fathers molest you. You can imagine that. The daddies molested you. Then these mothers them. They letting their children sleep with their sweetheart. And only when the problem come on, sometimes they have babies for these niggas, but still dealing with their mom. So Candy, it's a two-way thing. When I say two sides, yeah, that sounds bad. You gotta have respect for your ma, and if you see them don't treat their ma a certain way, maybe you could call them a dog. But what about that ma, okay? And what about the girl? It's a two-way thing. We all gotta try to be better in our life, to be better for our children. Don't worry about the crap what we gone through. We gotta lean on Jesus, like you say, trust in God. That's the only way. But you keep up the good with. I just wondering who this can on bad on that radio. I can't even tell a man to keep on about it. And whatever I say just now is a joke to what I really like to say. Or some man out there could see. Y'all keep up the good work.
Thanks so much for calling, Oh boy, we got some work to do. I want to read a message from one of our WhatsApp listeners. It said, "Good afternoon. I want to applaud and commend you for this topic. It's wonderful to hear you speaking on it. We need more of it. We need to educate our people on the subject. That is not right to do because victims are affected for the rest of their lives." Thank you for bringing it up. Listen, this is definitely a conversation that needs to be had. This, we clearly need to do more of this because we can't fix a problem in one conversation.
Nope.
It's going to take a lot of awareness on the part of all of us. But at the end of the day, you have to start somewhere. And, I often refer to it when you're faced with a big problem and you don't know how, it seems so insurmountable. I always go back to this. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, bit by bit, piece by piece. You put your head down and you start. Because the journey of, 1,000 steps begins with that first step. So we got to do something. We can't just sit back and throw our hands up and say, "Whoa, it's me, and we'll never fix this problem." No, we gotta tackle this elephant and go at this bite by bite, one bite at a time, right? The question is, what is that first step, or should there be several first steps from several different directions all at once? So in other words, the church does its part. The NGOs do their part. The educational system gets fixed and they do their part. All of these agencies coming together Are we at the point now where we need some kind of conclave, would you say? And I know people say, oh, Michelle, y'all ain't tired talking, but you gotta plan. If
See,
you don't,
Michelle, we could plan as much as we want plan, but if we don't have the key stakeholders that's planning events,
that's what I'm talking about, bringing all the stakeholders
yeah, be
together,
fruitless. You
all of them.
understand me?
Yeah.
And then you could say, okay, we're gonna do this. If the AG office ain't a part of it, the Royal Bahamas Police Force ain't a part of it, Urban Law ain't a part of it, Social Service ain't a part of it, NGOs ain't a part of it, the church is a part of the conclave, you have nothing.
This is
because at the end, everything still works hand in hand. You need the church. We need Jesus Christ. We need God. Next up, you need the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Because I don't care how dizzy you play. You need the Royal Bahamas Police Force. You understand me? Then everything's then transferred then to the prosecution, the AG office. You need the judiciary system. You need them. You need NGOs because when a certain place locked down, certain time, NGOs on the road could come out the house 24 hours and go get the victim, go do this, go do that. You understand me? So we need to start doing our conclave, our table meeting with everybody. You understand me? You have Apostle Carlos Reed right there. You have Pastor Eric Fox. You have Mark Knowles. You have Apostle Kevin Grant. We have so many men in this country doing their part. But hear this out. You have Pastor Dave Williams from Prison Fellowship, all of them. You have so many more, and even Mr. Sparker, Mighty Monica. You have people like them doing their part, and Shaggy. You have them doing their part in the community, and then you could want to do as much as you want to know. You still need funding. The Bible says money answers all things. With all this sitting at the table, we still need funding because to go to a victim, you need gas in your car. When you done get this victim, sometimes the children need pampers in the middle of the night. You got to turn and get fine warm clothing for them. The baby need infant milk. They need balls on them run with only the clothes on their back. So you can imagine now, when they reach out to me, I got to leave from home, come to my office, get what I need to get for them, carry them certain place, or sometimes, I have to keep them here until the night because whatever the case is done. So therefore, everything's funding. So we can talk as much as we want to talk. Unless we allocate that funding, we can still be back here.
Yeah, yeah. Where can people who are listening to this show and want to help you and your organization, where can they do? Where can they reach you? What can they do to help you?
Please, our office is located number 68 Alexander Boulevard. That's Nassau Village. If they want to make a financial contribution, our account is formed, and that's at First Caribbean Bank. The account number is 201-633-394. That's 201-633-394. And the brand is Morland Marathon branch. We accept no unused clothing. We accept grocery items, baby items, pampers. We accept bed. We accept stove. We accept fridge. And we accept anything to help victims have a victorious start. And then do bear in mind, now we have an office. We have to pay our monthly rent here. We have internet. We have cable here. So we have phone lines here. We have stuff that we have to pay monthly. So any contribution, whether it be $1, we'll greatly appreciate it. We also have staff. We'll pay stipend too. So any contribution will greatly help us.
That's fantastic. And I hope that we get some response from persons who are listening who are able to assist. Like you say, even if it's just a can of, corn, tuna, whatever. Something to help. And, FOAM is one organization, one NGO of several that are really working hard to try to assist people who find themselves in need and find themselves. I mean, I look at the work of even though his organization doesn't deal specifically with, although they do to a certain extent. I'm talking about Bishop Walter Hanchel, because I know that he and I have had conversations about his desire to build a shelter for women and children, and the roadblocks that he has faced trying to make that happen. People, I just want to encourage you, to, especially those of you out there who have means. I mean, it's only so much you could spend in your lifetime. You're going to die and leave it the rest of the year for somebody else to spend anyway. Why not do some good with some of it? I ain't saying you got to take all your money. But some of you out there have sufficient that you could do good for somebody and still have enough for you and your children, your grandchildren, your great-grand, and your great-great-great-grand, and so on and so on and so on. Y'all ain't going to be broke no time soon. And reaching out and helping people, I think some of you could do that. without hurting your bottom line, because it's only so much you could spend in this lifetime. You don't get carried with you. You going to the grave the same way you come into this earth, you know, alone. You can't take it with you. So why not put some of it to good use? I say it got to be all. You know, think of your fellow man. And you know, I think a part of the problem is a lot of people think that they're above people. So, you know, they might say, Michelle, they're my fellow man. They beneath me. They're my underlings. I heard somebody refer to the people who work with them in an office. They're my underlings. And I say to myself, Lord have mercy. You realize that all us going to the grave, all. And ain't no hierarchy there. Ain't nobody more important than the next there. That is the great equalizer. What is the legacy that you're going to leave before you get there? And when I say legacy, I ain't talking about how much money you amassed, because that means nothing if you were not able to help somebody with it. So what is your legacy going to be? That you were a miser, a hoarder, or that you helped to better the lives of people? Khandi, I'm giving you 1 minute to give me your final thoughts on this. 1 minute.
Okay, my final thought is knowing a brother or a sister in need, and you shut up your bowels of compassion. How dwelleth is the love of God in you. Have a wonderful day.
All right, that was short and sweet. I give you a minute, you take 20 seconds, but it is what it is. Thank you so much, Khandi, for being here today. I really appreciate you, and I just want to encourage you to keep up the good work, girl. I know sometimes you get tired, and sometimes it's hard. I'm sure you must, but know that you will be rewarded for the work that you do. And I'm sure that, you know, there are people out there who are grateful for you, even though they may not say it. I'm sure they're grateful for the work that you are doing and how you're helping them. And I just want to thank you and all the others out there who are on the front lines, who are just trying to make a difference in people's lives. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you too. Good night.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the show today. On behalf of all of us here at Global 99.5 FM, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thanks so much for joining us. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So you know what that means? We're going to be talking about health and wellness and what you can do to live a healthier life. Michelle Malcolm here. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.
This is 99.5 Global FM, your number one source for R&B in the Bahamas.